What's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadow Look, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Now, I'll be answering two of my subscribers' questions today, right? Who have been sending me stuff, right? About stuff that's been happening on the YouTube between channels, right? He had sent me one, the homie Sleepy805. Send me one about what are my thoughts on Renegade Media and putting out misinformation about homies out there, right? And then, Cholo Juan and Doves responding to him. Now, to that, I'll say, it's the internet, bro. It's YouTube. You can't stop people from, uploading whatever kind of content that they want. Regardless if it's fake or real. People are gonna put out whatever they're gonna decide to put out. And can't not me or anybody else stop them, right? Now, I could understand why these individuals are upset if it's misinformation, if it's wrong, right? So I could understand from their perspective wanting just to say that this information is wrong and them correcting and wanting to bring the truth out there because the truth is important, right? But to me, it's like, well, if somebody's not from that area, then I'm not gonna take their word for the advice that's being put out there, right? It just depends, however the subscribers take the information, right? But if they really truly don't know out of the areas, and I can understand, well, if you're not the area from the area, why speak on them? I get all of that, right? But like I said, people can do whatever they want on their channels, and can nobody stop them, or tell them what they can and can't do, right? They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. So with that, it's like regardless. But I can understand from their perspective. Well, more from Cholo Juan, being an individual who's uh it's still in the mix, right? I can see why he's upset. I can't see why Dubs would be upset because he is no longer a individual who's in the mix or affiliated. So I don't understand why it would bother him, right? Beats me. Maybe he still feels some type of way, or maybe he sees himself still some type of way, which goes into the next video the next question that I wanted to talk about, right? Which the subscriber Torino mobster or something like that. Spencer, if I got the last part right, but it is Torino. He had asked me, he had sent me some clippings, right, about what are my thoughts about the video that Gunner did, right, about Rene Enriquez, right, about him saying not to shout him out no more because he doesn't want to be associated with somebody or somebody who's an informant shouting him out, right? Like if he's still good himself, right? Like if he didn't tell, like if he doesn't have any black and white, because he went in that video and said that, well, you guys can believe what you guys want, but you guys are believing the wrong. I never debriefed, but there's paperwork, bro. There's paperwork out there. You can look it up. You can see the full paperwork in its full. The individual that he snitched on came on here. You can see the video on that as well. Like I said, individuals try to come off as they're gangster still, bro. Like they're still in the mix. Like they still want to be seen as gangster, or at least someone that didn't fall off in a bad status. Because if not, then why would they come and say the things that they say or get mad and triggered about certain things, like that individual's title or misinformation. Like if these individuals are still in the mix and still about the business and still when they're no good no more, you know. Trust me, active individuals don't like these individuals. Don't want these individuals shouting them out either. You know what I mean? Or talking about their mix. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they still want to be seen as gangster, bro. Because like I said, there's no other reason for it. Like people can say that they're here to give advice or steer kids away from it, or they're just speaking on their tails, bro. They still want to be seen as gangster, because if not, they wouldn't be triggered by stupid shit like this. Active individuals don't even get triggered by stupid shit like this. You know what I mean? But that's because they're in the same boat as the other individual, but yet they want to act like they're not, though. Like, oh no, don't be shouting me out, bro, because you're no good, bro. You're a snitch. Like you're a snitch too, though, bro. The fuck? Like if there's levels to it. Like one snitch is not seen as more worse than another snitch, bro. All snitches are seen the same in the same basket. And like I said, bro, it's just the internet. You know what I mean? Like individuals still want to be seen as gangster because they still want. That's what they're on here seeking, validation. Because if not, then why would they act like if they didn't come out with a video saying that it is true, but now they're denying it, even though all kinds of people seen it, but yeah, they're gonna pretend like it never happened. That's how the delusion that people are stuck in is crazy, bro. And that's not me hating, bro, because I mean, can anybody else give an explanation for it? But overall, it's just YouTube. Don't get so worked up over it. If people choose to believe whatever they believe, they believe. But like I said, because on the internet, people can say whatever they want. Apparently, it seems to work. Don't make it facts, though. People are battling and struggling with their own demons, their own way of how they view themselves. This is more about a battle with themselves than it is about a battle with anybody else on here. And that's just my opinion. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments and shout out.